Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. I just took, actually, this time I took quite a long break. Ate some food, got some tea, and I'm going to be ordering some more food later on, but not yet. It's kind of awkward going back to this game. It's always having no background like music. But yeah, short recap. We got questioned by the military police because we kept area from the police. We went to Kansu, and then we did an autopsy on the receptionist from Endless Summer. And yeah, we also got a very short H scene with Ryoko and Ethika. And I think that's about it. And right now, I think we are on Ethika's perspective again. So let me read her narrative. After my hair is dry, I get back to the living room to find Iria lying face down on the couch.
どうしたのイリアちゃん。
ひもじい。
あー、ごめん。全然気づかなかった。
Iria was a hostage, so it's only natural that she wasn't given enough food.
カップ麺でもあったかな。
そんなのダメよ。育ち盛りなんだから。
Damn, why are you still in just underwear?
りょうこ
I feel like her proportions are really off. There's no way you're that thin and you have like those boobs. She must have implants or some shit. As we're talking, Ryoko returns from the shower room.
晩ご飯の残りだけど、手早く何か作るわ。
あー、ごめん。よろしくね。
えちかちゃんも、たまには料理してみたら？
私は食べる方専門なの。私くらい美味しく料理を食べる人はいないよ。ってことで、私もお夜食いい？
残念。残りは一人分だから、カップラーメンでもどうぞ。
チェー。
Damn. Now that I've started thinking about Ryoko's cooking, I'm hungry. Normally, I don't eat between meals, but I guess I'll go ahead and eat some cup noodles. After all, there's hot pipes all over Tokyo. Hot water is just a twist of a valve away. Apparently, cup noodles were developed over 200 years ago, and they were already perfect then.
ん？どうしたの？
今、りょうこ、下着姿。
ん？ああ、そっか。見慣れてないよね。あれ、りょうこさんの普段着みたいなもんだから。
I guess technically, when we were reading out the encyclopedia, it did say that Ryoko lounges with her underwear a lot.
裸がユニフォーム。
She is wearing underwear, though.
ところで、他に何か不自由してることない？
不自由？
そう。リビングデッドなら何でも恋なんだけど、記憶喪失の美少女を拾ったことはないからさ。いまいち勝手がわからないんだよね。
Iria thinks for a moment. The way she furrows her eyebrows in thought is so cute. Nothing better than watching a pretty girl fuss and fret.
私もわかんない。
わかんない？
記憶喪失だから何を困ってるのかいまいちよくわかんなくて。
なるほど。
I guess that makes sense.
ほらよ。
Tokitaka makes his way down the stairs, lobbing something at Iria without warning. Understandably, she dodges it. It bounces off the sofa and lands on the floor.
避けんなよ。
避けるって時高は自分がどう見られてるのか自覚したら？
そうだ変態。
だから便乗すんなって。いらないなら持って帰るぞ。
これ、コネリン？
Iria picks the object up off the floor. It's a connect ring, or conry for short. In short, a digital assistant in the form of a ring that also acts as a node on the mesh network. The primary method of data exchange in Tokyo, as the name implies, it is an almost literal network of conry, each acting as the node for the transmission of data. 99% of transmissions in Tokyo are conducted via the mesh network. Came into widespread use after the issuing of the emergency mesh network protocol in the wake of the Tokyo Computer War. The old internet was disposed of after it was compromised by a virus in the Tokyo Computer War. An incident in June 2145 in which a computer virus developed by a cyber battalion in the People's Liberation Army crippled Tokyo's infrastructure, considered to be the tipping point leading to the reoccupation of Japan. With the internet left completely unusable, the Tokyo government issued the emergency mesh network protocol. From this point forward, information exchange in Tokyo has been primarily conducted via the mesh network. They're mostly explaining just about Tokyo. I wonder what's going on in the rest of the country. Or, you know, in the rest of the world. The military police and the Empire Energy Corp apparently have their own proprietary networks, but we average citizens generally use the mesh network. An R&D enterprise based in the Tokyo Megafloat has proven wildly successful in monetizing a wide variety of research in disparate fields such as energy, biotech, new materials, and nanotechnology. Sofia Kawarazaki is their acting CEO. To date, the only organization that has succeeded in extracting energy from the central hot zone. Controls the hot pipe network running through Tokyo, currently focusing their efforts on the Tokyo Rebirth Project. In the name of order and progress, began as the Imperial Next Generation Energy Research Facility. That's a mouthful. So, these guys are basically at the top of the food chain. Nearby connect rings interconnect to form a mesh, transferring data like a bucket brigade. Any variety of data is stored in the mesh network in encrypted format, able to be accessed at any time as long as you're part of the mesh. On top of that, since people keep their conries on at all times, it's become standard to use them as a basic means of biometric authentication. Man, imagine if you forgot to wear yours. You'd have a hard time even unlocking your front door.
旧型だけど記憶容量もまあある。普段使いには問題ない。起動の仕方は。
The conry on Arya's finger suddenly shoots out a hologram, even though she clearly didn't perform any sort of multi-flick input. A mysterious ring of light slowly rotates into space in front of Iria. Did I say Arya? Sorry about that. Emitting a soft chime-like sound. She stares at it, transfixed, a faraway look in her eyes.
時田か、これは
知るか、こんな仕掛けはしてない。
トーングラフ
知ってるの？
知ってるっていうか覚えてるっていうか、思い出したっていうか。
Iria swipes her fingers, closing out the tone graph with a multi-flick. In its place, a menu screen appears. For some reason, it seems to already be set up.
いつの間に。
わかんないけど、考えるより先に指が動くっていうか。
Iria begins customizing the finer details of the OS settings. Her fingers swiftly dance in the air as she inputs commands like an expert. I can't help but watch in fascination. Though she really is that Hongyo Iria, then I guess it's only natural she'd be that skilled. Who's that Hongyo Iria?
はい、完成。うわいい匂い。
Ryoko calls out from the kitchen, bringing an abrupt end to the multi-flick extravaganza. Iria heads to the diner table as if nothing ever happened. She must really be hungry, huh? I guess not even Ryoko would cook in her underwear. She said it was just leftovers, But she even tossed together a quick saute. That's how you say that, right? I thought it was supposed to be with double E's. That looks pretty nice. I see some lettuce, and then I see some beef, carrots, and most likely some... What do you call those again in English? Beanstalk? Bean sprout. Sorry, beanstalk. My bad. Just seeing Ryoko's cooking laid out on the table is enough to stimulate my appetite. I guess I really will have some cup noodles. You know what? Forget it. Looking at such a delectable meal while sipping into noodles would just make me feel sorry for myself.
いただきます。どうぞどうぞ。召し上がれ。
It's a traditional Japanese meal consisting of rice, miso soup, sautéed vegetables, rolled omelette, and pickled vegetables.
Yogo さんの手料理だ。当然だろ。
なんでお前が自慢げなんだよ。
これ人工肉とタワー野菜？本当に？
Artificial meat, the hell? Meat produced artificially using bovine stem cells, cheap and readily available, but not considered particularly appetizing on its own. Careful preparation is demanded. Tower vegetables. Vegetables produced in tower-style factories, such as the one in Kasumigaseki.
ごめんなさいね。賞金はもらったけど、天然物を食べられるほど裕福じゃないの。そんな、これだったら全然大丈夫だよ。味付けの総理？
Guess it makes sense that there wouldn't be any more natural food left over anymore. I'm guessing even canned food might be quite the commodity.
安い素材はちょっと辛めに味をつけるのがコツね。そうなんだ。美味しい。おかわり。
250キロカロリー。おかわりしたなら500キロカロリー。肉野菜炒めは330キロカロリーで、そっちの卵焼きと漬物を合わせて合計で1000キロカロリーちょうど。
Tokitaka, you are my dear friend. I can't believe he actually calculated all this.
成人女性の摂取カロリーは2000キロカロリー程度だから、これだけですでに1日の半分を。
I basically do this on a day-to-day basis, but, you know, it's like second nature to me now. At the start, you kind of had to weigh your food to kind of guess the calories. Well, at that point, you're not really guessing the calories. You're weighing the food at the exact precise kilograms or grams based on your needs. But yeah, after like a month or two, you kind of get used to it.
ちょっとなんで急にそんな話出すわけ？美味しくご飯食べさせてよ。
はあ？数字を確認しながら食べることで、陽子さんのご飯がより美味しく感じられるだろう？
I think not for most females. And 2,000 calories for most females is actually on the higher side. I think most females have an average calorie like BMR of like 1,500 for maintenance.
全く意味がわかんないんだけど。
もちろん最初は誰だってそうだ。でも馴染めば徐々に数字の意味が見えてくる。有名なミロのヴィーナスがあるだろう？男たちはあの体型に魅力を感じる。あの彫刻は身長204センチ。これを平均的な女性の体格に換算すると、3サイズはバスト96、ウエスト78、ヒップ103。ウエスト対ヒップの比率は 0.75。これは出産適齢期を示すサインでもある。数字だよ。0.75。この数字に脳の前頭葉にある報酬系が反応するんだ。
Yeah, I don't know about that, buddy.
で、味覚の数字を探し出すためには普段から
キモい。
な。
別に数字を置かずにご飯が食べられるわけじゃねえんだから。
いけるね。むしろ余裕。
じゃあ時高くん、明日からおかずなしね。
そんな。
Gotta side with Ryoko here. She makes us delicious food every day. And this is how you respond? Not gonna be graduating from the bulging boys anytime soon, I'm afraid. Bungling. I don't know why I said what did I say? Bulging? God damn it.
なんだか賑やかだな。
そうおかえり。
ただいま。
涼子の手料理がうまいぞ。
Gotta say, I love her voice actress though. Very dramatic.
そうか。うん。それはよかった。
Before I know it, Iria has finished eating. She sure made short work of that food. Not a single grain of rice remains. 1,000 calories
ごち
though.
そうさまでした。
That's more than what I eat for breakfast. And I eat a big breakfast.
はい。お粗末様でした。
Ryoko brings out roasted green tea for all of us.
ちょっと時間は遅いけど、ソウンくんも帰ってきたことだし、一休みしてから夜のミーティングを始めましょう。
After putting the dishes away, we gather at the living room table.
今日はお疲れ様。急に決まったエンデレス様への襲撃だけど、後を引く怪我もなく、単勇者を倒すことができたわ。みんな、よくやったわね。
Ryoko looks at each of us in turn, a broad smile in her face. We put our lives on the line out there every day, but I think it's moments like these that keep us fighting no matter the odds.
ソウンくん、資料解析の結果が出るのは明日よね。
はい。根数は午前中に終わると言ってました。
軍警察の現場検証も今日いっぱいかかるでしょう。だから分析は明日まとめてやることになりそうね。
なるほど。じゃあ今回の主な議題は
Iria exclaims as if on cue.
私のことだよね。
ああ。僕はリスクを冒して君を保護した。だから僕には君の身辺を聞く義務がある。
Someone proactively takes control of the conversation. Don't see that every day. He must really feel responsible for her. But something tells me that's not all he feels.
私の過去は私も聞きたいくらいだよ。政府のデータベースを調べたわ。崩御イリアって名前で身体的特徴に合致する人物はいない。
So there are names that, correspond to Hangyo Iria.
該当するものは今のところ皆無よ。
After the outbreak of the mutant bacteria mare, which many people consider the worst of its kind in all of history, entry into Tokyo has become strictly restricted and regulated. This is actually before, COVID, right? So I guess a pandemic is really common occurrence in sci-fi stories. But as soon as you're within Tokyo city limits, regulations on travel are practically non-existent. People are born suddenly and die quickly. Advanced robots are practically indistinguishable from humans, and we've even got hi-fi living dead out there roaming the streets. So it's all a big mess. I doubt anyone but God himself could compile a list of everyone living in Tokyo. So it's no surprise to run into a girl or two who's missing from the government database.
生活や言語に支障はない。でも日常生活のディテールや思い出らしきものがごっそり抜け落ちてる。覚えてるのは自分の名前くらいかな。
嘘じゃないだろうな。
失礼しちゃう。
すべてのことを疑ってかかるのはこの仕事の鉄則。だいたい都合よくその名前だけを覚えてるなんてのが眉唾だ。
I'm with you, Tokitaka.
本当よ。
Ryoko cuts in.
わざわざ軍警察附属病院の MRI で検査してもらったんだから。専門医の判断でエピソード記憶の欠落は間違いないって。
エピソード記憶？
時点的な小さな知識が意味記憶。体の使い方は手続き記憶。エピソード記憶ってのは 簡単に言えば思い出のこと。
ほうほう、なるほど。時高の説明は分かりやすいな。
調べればすぐわかるだろ。そのホログラスは飾りか？
伊達です。
Just between you and me, they aren't. Anyway, yeah, I could just look it up myself. He's right. But speaking of memory, it's easier to memorize something if you actually hear it explained, you know? It's called dialectics. Dialectics, I think. I'd have to look it up. I think it depends. Some people just learn, like, from reading themselves rather than, you know, listening to someone else explain it.
記憶を失ったのは人為的な記憶操作。
誘拐は精神に大きな負担をかけるから自然に記憶を失っても不思議はない。でも一方で自己崩壊型のナノマシン手術だとしたら痕跡は残りにくい。タンユンシャンが意図的に記憶を奪った可能性も否定できない。
Yeah, with nanomachines, it's kind of difficult to really know what the hell is going on. I mean, necromancers are brain specialists after all.
もしそうだとしたらどうして記憶を奪う必要が？
単純に考えれば誘拐方法を隠すためでしょうね。何かまずいところを見られたとか。
It would be easier to just kill her if that were the case. But Tang Yunshan didn't.
ねえイリアちゃん、あなたはこの人を知らないのよね。
Ryoko brings up a photo of the kidnapped vice governor on a sheet of papyrus. Third generation magnetic twisting digital paper, generally used as a means of outputting data from a conry, allows for indefinite display of video files, can be rewritten up to 10,000 times, supports an extremely advanced encryption protocol, making it the first choice for official documents and contracts.
知らない。誰この人？
セクサロイド好きの変態副都知事。こいつを追っかけてたらイリアちゃんみたいな美少女を引き当てたってわけ。超ラッキーだね。
Oh, this guy's called Cohen, not Soen. I made a mistake.
そうなんだ。
一番古い記憶は？
君がトランクを開けるところ。
I see. That's what you call imprinting, isn't it? So, what does Sleeping Beauty here think of our prince?
まあしかしそのなんだ、まあもし仮に記憶を消したとしてった宝行イリアなんて超有名人の名前は残すんだから変な話だよね。
偽の記憶を植え付けたの間違いだろ。
はあ？偽じゃない。私が宝行イリアです。
あの宝行イリア？お前が？
私が悪いって言うの？
期待外れ。
何よ。
Well, Tokitaka and Iria start bickering again. Soen's off to the side, looking confused.
どうした？
あの宝行イリアって誰だ？
知らないのか？
I knew he was a little out of the loop, but not that out of the loop.
時高、説明してやってくれ。
なんで俺が？
Tokitaka begrudgingly starts explaining. I'm glad Four Eyes here knows his place.
宝行イリアは今一番熱い支持を受けている仮想環境デザイナー。
Virtual environment. The general term for a virtual reality experience. While it's possible to experience virtual environments with only a head-mounted display, more elaborate setups incorporating omnidirectional treadmills and holographic displays can provide greater levels of immersion. The technology used in virtual spheres, but seen in a wide variety of contexts outside of just gaming. You know, if you guys saw the first episode, there was actually like an error message displaying, and it said on the bottom left, holographic environment loading or something. I don't want this to be just the Matrix ripoff though, so not gonna say everything right now is just, you know, VR.
仮想環境？ゲームセンターみたいな。
いや、 工業イリアの作品はゲームとは違う。目的もなくその環境に没入するリラクゼーションソフトだ。代表作は浜辺の風景。バーチャルな空間を散策するだけの単純なものなのに熱狂的な人気がある。
That's it? A virtual environment program created by Hagyo Area consists of little more than a recreation of a beach at night, but possesses a certain magic that has captured the hearts of many. I don't think that would personally do anything for me. Right, I love that one. Whenever I get pissed off at something stupid, I'll often put on my HMD and escape into the sights of midnight shores. There's nothing particularly stimulating about it, to be honest. And it's not like you go there to achieve some sort of zen state and leave your worldly emotions behind either. But when you enter into it, it's like you just feel accepted somehow. Like every last crevice of your soul is being gently tickled and caressed. Look, it's hard to describe. So there must be something on the software then that's making you think that way. It's like that subcon thing that just about everyone's into these days. An abbreviation of substance concept. The hell?
ただし、工業イリアはその素性が全く不明。外見や住んでいる場所はおろか、年齢、性別も明らかになっていない。新作のリリースも匿名性には徹底的にこだわっているみたいで、でもその匿名性がミステリアスな存在をより一層引き立ててるってわけだ。その工業イリアが目の前のこいつだって言われても、俺は絶対信じない。
これでどう？
With a multi-flick, Iria brings up a holographic numeric display floating above her glove. 989 million yen. Jesus. It appears to be a bank account balance, but...
なんだこの数字は。
私の口座。多分ね。
多分。
うん。マルチフリックの動作が手続き記憶として残ってたみたい。
If you guys don't know how much that is for, like, easy, like, measure, you just, like, put 2 decimals below, or, like, you know, 2 decimals from the number there, and then you'll basically convert it to US. Maybe not right now because the yen is actually a lot lower than it was, but for the most part, it's about that much, the ballpark. So for you guys in the US, that's about $9 million, almost 10.
コネリンを開いたら、私の体が勝手にここに繋いだの。
でも、だからって、そんな。俺の年収と桁が一つ違うぞ。
Yeah, Tokitaka.
浜辺の風景くらい有名なソフトだったら、巨額の広告収入があってもおかしくないよね。
時田か、一つ聞きたいんだけど、この数字どう見る？
数字は嘘をつかないんだ、チクショー。
これだけの預金があるとすると、身代金目当ての犯行。
可能性はあるわね。まだ現金が減った様子はないけれど。
口座から身元を割り出すことは？
一度現金化したんじゃないかな。それまでの電子取引履歴がチェーンに残ってないみたい。
Well, Tokitaka did just say that Hagyo Iria is pretty keen in the whole anonymity thing. That's a very difficult word to say. Otherwise, her personal life would have been laid bare before the world long ago, as famous as she is.
それで相談なんだけど。
That's a typo? Iria sits straight up and faces Ryoko.
雇われてくれないかな。雇われる？そう。ネクロマンサーを探し出すのは得意でしょ？だからきっと私の身元を探すのも得意かなって。
お断りだ。
Tokitaka answers in Ryoko's place. He's overstepping his authority here, but I can't say I don't understand where he's coming from.
俺たちは探偵じゃないんだぞ。そんな仕事やってられっか。
でも私、ネクロマンサーに狙われてるかもしれないんだよ。探偵じゃ無理。リビングデッドストーカーが適任じゃない？
俺たちはガキのおもりでもないっての。
ガキはこんなお金持ってません。
I mean, unless you're actually the son or daughter of someone who's filthy rich. Tokitaka gnashes his teeth at the sight of the bank account balance. I almost respect his sheer devotion to numbers.
もちろんきちんと謝礼は弾むつもりだよ。だからお願い。そうね。
Ryoko puts a finger to her cheek and thinks.
確かに経営者としては魅力的な提案よね。
俺は反対です。俺たちはリビングデッドの専門家だけれどボディーガードじゃない。安全が保証できません。
結構真面目。エチカはどう思う？
賛成。謎の美少女と同棲生活なんて見逃す手はないでしょう。
ありがとう。私エチカが好きかも。わーい。
You may now hug me.
それでソウンは？
僕、
そうね。ソウンくんの意見は聞いておきたいかな。なんて言ったってあなたが見つけたお姫様ですもの。
Someone mulls over Ryoko's question. Honestly, this whole situation feels like uncharted territory for us.
僕はわからない。判断材料がなくて。
Iria pouts. Someone's not bungling boy number 2 for nothing. He can be real indecisive for someone who makes split-second decisions as long as he's got his X-brain on. A pretty girl's asking for your help, and that's not enough information for you?
ということは賛成1、反対1、危険1。
I mean, I probably would be with Tokitaka here.
私に判断を預けてもらっていいわね。
はい。
オッケー。
もちろん。
それじゃイリアちゃん。はい。
Ryoko is our boss, which means her word is final. That's the absolute law at this agency.
あなたは今日から唐鼓戦死者追跡事務所の新しい家族よ。
Iria gleefully throws her hands in the air. I feel your pain, Tokitaka. Tokitaka bitterly throws his face into his hands. Soen, meanwhile, just looks somewhat relieved. It's like a variety pack of facial expressions here. But what kind of look do I have on my face? I hope there's no hint of anything, well, lewd. After all, when Ryoko says family, she means something a bit unique. Is she gonna, like, take a shower with Ryoko too? Is that what you're trying to say? Long ago, online networks became the primary method of information distribution. In 2199, all TV channels have been abolished. The news is now streamed via the mesh network. In a dark corner of Shiba Park, Tokyo Tower stands alone and forgotten, not a hot pipe in sight. Created in the Showa era, it was once synonymous with Tokyo itself, the linchpin of mass communication, but now it is little more than a relic of a bygone era. Once considered the symbol of Tokyo, it is now little more than an abandoned ruin, no longer even functional. As no one lives in the area, there are no hot pipes nearby. It stands alone in a frozen wasteland, surrounded by impenetrable, genetically enhanced thickets. A man stands at the top of the tower, looking down at the frozen capital. Down at the lights shining through the darkness and the blizzard. When was the last time he saw the stars of the night sky? Not since he left that battlefield so far to the south. As the man gazes upon the vestiges of his past, he hears footsteps approaching.
すみません。遅れました。
Man, this guy... Are all the bad guys like this cool looking? This guy definitely seems very strong. Pavlov bows apologetically, bending his gargantuan frame. One of Milgram's allies.
リビングデッドストーカーか。
はい。エンドレスサマーにカラスズミ静止者追跡事務所の人間が。
カラスズミ。懐かしい名前だ。
はい。
The man shifts his gaze downward. This place is home to many memories for him.
タンは
殺されました。
The man had assumed as much from the fact that Pavlov had arrived alone. He gently closes his eyes.
安らかだったか。
はい。安らかに。
ならばいい。タンは今も生きることに執着があった。安らかに生けたなら、それで。
はい。
The man opens his eyes and looks off into the distance.
私がタンに出会ったのは、マレーシアのある農村だった。潜入していた人民解放軍の特殊部隊が、タンを除き全滅していた。
全滅。
虐殺は鮮やかだった。一片の怒りもなく、一片の躊躇もなく、一片の同情もなく、正確に確実に、絶対に揺るがぬ確信を持って力が行使された。感動的な光景だ。あまりに感動的な光景で、哀れに思ってタンユンシャンの命を助けた。
哀れに思って。
至高の美を目前にして、しかしその芸術の一部になることが叶わなかったんだ。悲劇と言わずして何という。
Pavlov answers with silence. The man knows that the silent giant, his right-hand man, lacks the delicate sensitivity to understand the emotions he's describing. If he did possess such emotional breadth, he would be a far superior necromancer. Pavlov is painfully aware of his own shortcomings as well. His modesty is his greatest virtue.
再会するまで、まさか独学でネクロマンシーを学んでいたとは思わなかったがな。タンも、せめて息子に殺されたなら満足だろう。
そうかもしれません。
長岡総雲か。
はい。
見込みがありそうか。
はい。
わかった。
The man nods. There was one more person he was waiting for, but at this rate, it should be safe to assume that no-show's off. The no-show's off chasing skirts somewhere along the way. No sense in wasting more time waiting around. The man heads toward the stairs. He can discern their intentions without needing to exchange a single word.
パブロフ、醜い町だと思わないか。
はい。何の思想もありません。ホットパイプを張り巡らせ、無秩序に拡張しただけの都市。
The man's subordinate is all about function over form. He lacks sorely an artistic sense. But that is exactly what the man finds so charming about him.
心臓はすでに停止していて、ポンプで血を送り込まないとすぐに機能停止してしまう。死に損ないの町。まるでリビングデッドだ。
I guess that's not wrong. Geriome. The next morning,
まずい。
Iria keels over after taking a sip of Early Bird, the special blend of coffee we at the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency drink in the morning. A special blend of coffee served at the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency tastes foul enough to wake the dead. For unknowable reasons, Ryoko actually seems to enjoy it.
お砂糖、お砂糖、お砂糖。
I mean, how bad can black coffee be? I drink my coffee black.
19キロカロリー。 38キロ、57キロ。
Good job, Tokitaka.
うるさい。
No matter how drowsy you are, one cup of early bird will have you wide awake and ready for action. Ryoko picks it up at Amehoko in Ueno. The largest shopping district in Tokyo, located in Ueno. American Pedestrian Mall, interesting. The nickname Amehoko is an abbreviation of its full Japanese name. Merchants from across the city conduct business here day and night, protected by the watchful eye of the Eclipse Corp. The company brags that unlike most of the competition, they use natural beans. But honestly, with a taste like this, it would have been better to let natural selection run its course on these beans.
さて、それじゃあ今日の予定だけど。
Usually, the dead don't choose when to die, and the living dead don't choose when to undie. An irregular schedule comes with the territory in this line of work. Even so, the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency tries to keep things as regular as possible. We make it a rule to hold briefings in the morning, after breakfast like this, while sipping our cups of early bird, of course.
今のところネクロマンサーの目立った動きはなし。ということで、新たな私たちのクライアントイリアちゃんの案件に取り掛かろうと思うわ。
子供のおもりかよ。
I guess that's why Tokitaka is wearing his casual uniform. Nice hoodie.
誰が子供だって。はいはい、喧嘩はなしよ。エチカちゃん、雪にいるバーナに行ってきてくれる？
昨日のリビングデッドのデータを解析してもらうのね。
Snowbound Nirvana? I thought it was called Frozen Nirvana.
それと宝行イリアのデータがネットのどこかに残ってないか探してもらって。私じゃ難しかったけど、彼女の目はもっといいから。
了解。
I did the Necro analysis already, so it doesn't matter who goes to collect the actual data. I'm sure Ethica's happy to go. She does love Kansu.
以上、今日も一日頑張っていきましょう。
涼子さん、僕らはオフですか？
そういうこと。ソウン君は怪我もしたんだし、ゆっくり休んだ方がいいわ。
Iria raises her hand.
遊びに行きたい。
バカ言うな。お前の身元はまだ分かってない。家でおとなしくしてろ。
ほほう、クライアント様にそういう口を聞きますか。
やめろ、通帳が。
Calm down, damn it.
私は歩く身の代金だ。
Tokitaka always obeys the numbers.
君たちネクロマンサー専門の殺し屋なんでしょ？漁ってきたら、むしろ私の身元を割り出すチャンス。
I guess that's fair.
僕たちは君の安全を守るのが最優先だ。
いや、器用のはわかるんだけどさ、もうちっと気楽に考えてもいいんでないの？街を案内するくらいいいじゃん。
私も賛成。
お、マジで？
刺激を与えることで記憶を取り戻す確率は上がる。手がかりもより多く見つけられる。情報を得られないまま時間が経過することが一番のリスクだと思うわ。
そうそう、それそれ。
それに街中ならイリアちゃんに手出しはかえって難しいでしょ。
さすが涼子さん、その通り。
絶対何も考えてなかっただろ。
She rarely is.
ソウン君、
はい。
やってくれるかな？
何をですか？
決まってるでしょ。イリアちゃんが出かけるんなら護衛がいる。
僕一人で。
俺が行くわけないだろ。
あんた一人に決まってるでしょ。
よろしく。
I like how smug she is. If you guys take a look at the sprite on the left before, Iria smiles somewhat sadistically. It seems I've been saddled with the most troublesome task of the day. It may be conceited of me to say this, but I'm a skilled living dead stalker. I'm confident that I can handle at least a little bit of trouble by myself. Should a problem arise, I simply follow my ex-brain's guidance to reach the optimal solution. It's what I'm trained to do. But this assignment is completely outside of my field of expertise. I have no idea where to even begin. There's only one thing to do when I'm stumped like this. Yeah, I was gonna say, put on my X-Brain. I'm counting on you, X-Brain. Expand my subconscious. I see. So that's what you suggest.
何やってるの？
Crap. Iria saw me.
バイクで行くの？
いや、これはそうじゃなくて X ブレイン、僕の外部電脳、無意識を拡張する超高性能コンピューター。
ずいぶん使い込んであるんだね。
モジュールはアップデートしてるから最新版だけど、データはずっと引き継がれてる。僕の仕事はこのヘルメットなしじゃ始まらない。
持っていくの？
問題でも。
終わりだよ。戦争に行くわけじゃないんだから。
I mean, it'll make him like able to protect you a lot more efficiently, if need be. According to Ryoko, there's little danger of anything happening in the middle of the city. Unfortunately, I find myself unable to fully believe that. I agree with him. I know that the city isn't a place for a girl like Iria to go out on a casual stroll. But I don't think I can endure Iria glaring at me all day either. For today, I'll settle with just carrying my re-eliminators. We head outside to the office parking lot, where the communal car is waiting for us.
シーラカンス。
Isn't that a freaking Pokemon? A model of compressed air vehicle outfitted with distinctive, scale-like shock-absorbing panels. The panels can be moved in order to manipulate its aerodynamic profile, allowing for maneuvers not possible in an ordinary car. The model name is a descriptive one. You can recognize a kilocont. Do I just say the same thing as what she said in Japanese? Silacont? I don't know if that's actually how you say it in English. But a densely packed anti-shock pneumatic panels that look like fish scales. In this day and age, cars with steering wheels are like living fossils, swimming in the Sea of Tokyo. I suppose that's the idea. I get into the driver's seat, and Iria sits in the passenger seat. I go through the biometric authentication process via the Connery and start the engine. The sound of a running pneumatic engine is very quiet. If not quiet as what? If not quite as quiet as an electric motor.
What?
Damn, you're trying to tongue twister me.
シートベルト。
Is it really that surprising? Does she just not have much experience riding in cars? I ponder my charge as I start driving. This model's selling point is its light, compact chassis. It can easily reach speeds around 200 kilometers per hour. Additionally, its pneumatic panels adjust with its speed to grant it a sharp turning radius. The scales also act as anti-shock panels, allowing it to deflect bullets. The engine's run by an internal air tank compressed to 60 megapascals. Residual energy from the hot pipes is stored in underground compressed air stations, and the compressed air produced here is supplied to cars. It's a system designed to preserve as much precious geothermal energy as possible. If it weren't for the discovery of the central hot zone underneath the Kanto plain, Tokyo would have likely been buried under the snow just like every other major city in the world. I guess that's what's going on in the outside world. A mysterious heat source that appeared beneath Tokyo in the early 22nd century, accompanying increased volcanic activity across the globe. The wellspring of heat supporting the hot pipe network, considered to be the reason why the Tokyo Bay hasn't frozen over. Anyway, where are we heading?
ここ右。 西口側に出て。
Despite being surprised at the existence of seatbelts, Iria has already mastered the car's navigation system. If she is the genius designer behind Midnight Shores, then I suppose it only makes sense that she'd be good with software.
行きたい場所があるのか？
もちろん。
Following Iria's directions, we pass underneath the tracks of the Yamanote line and cross over into the west side of Shinjuku. Obviously, since just about every road has been digitized, I could just put the car into autopilot and reach our destination. But thankfully, it's a policy of the Kara Suzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency to drive manually, just in case. Thankfully, because if I didn't have anything to do, I'd have to find something to talk about.
でっかい雲がいる。
Iria points outside the window, her eyes sparkling.
あれはパイプランナー。
A type of fully automated robot that patrols the hot pipe network. There are innumerable pipe runners throughout Tokyo, tasked with both maintaining hot pipes and monitoring the areas around them. Jointly owned and operated by the Tokyo government and military police. Equipped with magnetic wheels on each of their 8 legs, allowing for them to reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, even on the precarious footing of the hot pipes.
東京都と軍警察が共同で管理する完全自立型ロボットだ。
あれ落ちないの？
足に電池尺車輪がついてて磁力を調整できる。主な役割はホットパイプの整備修繕と周囲の監視。
I have a feeling we're gonna be fighting those at some point. Iria leans forward and looks up to the sky. A faint shadow casts over her face.
じゃああれは？
ティルトローター式ガンシップ AMV-89 バルチャー。
Ah, those are the vultures. Those are what, fly from the heliport on the HQ of the police.
あれがそうなんだ。何かあったのかな？悪者をやっつけちゃったとか？
Maybe.
縁起でもない。
軍警察って正義の味方でしょ？
この町には熱い血管が数千、数万本も伸びてる。重武装のガンシップがドンパチ始めたらどうなる？
あ、流れ弾でお湯が漏れちゃう？
年に何十人も蒸気をかぶって人が死んでる。軍警察はそれを何とも思ってないけどね。
そうなんだ。
Right as we turn a corner, we can feel the car running over something.
今のは？
I give the rearview mirror a quick check. I already checked beforehand, but the body must have been run over by cars ahead of us, as the head's been crushed.
行き倒れだ。
行き倒れって人？
問題ない。もう死んでた。
でもだからって。
急ハンドルの方が危険だ。
Iria glares at me before turning around and placing her hands together. I guess she's praying for the dead body. But if you did that for every single dead body you came across in the city, there'd be no end to it.
そう、今度からそういうのはなしだよ。
Stop looking so smug.
わかったよ。
I head to Iria's designated destination, narrowly avoiding several homeless bodies with help from the autopilot system.
ここ？
Amehoko. After World War II, Japan's most famous shopping district was born here on the scorched earth of Ueno. And after the Sino-American War, it was reborn as the American Pedestrian Mall, or Amehoko for short. I actually don't think I've been to Ueno yet. I should probably go there next time I go to Japan. Oh wait, no, I think I have, because I know that street sign. Yeah, I know that street sign. I've actually been here, wow. I guess I wasn't here early enough because there wasn't a lot of shops open when I was there. In the aftermath of the Sino-American War, the eastern side of Tokyo was redeveloped as part of the Asakusa reconstruction plan. And so, Amehoko regained its former prosperity. I think it's supposed to be Ameyoko, right? in the real world. I don't think it was Hamehoko. Supporting this prosperity is an Eclipse militia designated to the region. In other words, ex-US Army soldiers. The US Armed Forces lost much of their influence in Japan after the Sino-American War drew to a close, but their military technology remains strong. They currently collaborate with the University of Tokyo and serve as the foundation of Tokyo's public order, alongside the military police. A former imperial university and still Tokyo's preeminent institution of higher learning, occupied by the Self-Defense Force during the Sino-American War and repurposed into a military technology research institution of sorts. Currently in partnership with the Eclipse Corp, owns and operates the Ueno Botanical Park. And you can't have trade without public order. It should be no surprise that Amehoko became the busiest marketplace in Tokyo, with the ex-US Army keeping a watchful eye on things.
やっぱり生だと迫力ある。ずっと来たいって思ってたんだ。
今まで来たことがなかった。
多分そう。来てたら忘れるはずないもん。
Can you even live in Tokyo and never have been shopping at Amehoko? Yeah, I think that was like something Yokocho, right? Amehoko doesn't know the meaning of the words management and oversight, and thus it's rife with unauthorized shops. It may be a tradition dating back to the pre-war days, but it's still a surprise they can actually maintain public order considering the state of things. Iria is already mastered using a Conry. This may be Amehoko, but there's no guarantee that she'll be safe by herself. I chase after her from close behind as she dashes through the maze-like hall. Then again, I didn't actually go inside of these maze-like, hallways. I was only going by the railroad tracks. So if you guys don't know what Ameyokocho is like, it's basically there's like a train tracks at the upper area, and then at the bottom area it's like lots of stalls. But I didn't actually go inside like areas like this where there are more shops inside. Only areas outside of the train. Nearby, an Indian arms dealer hawks goods that you can tell are shoddy with a single glance. Beside him is a maid cafe staffed by beautiful Thai women who have undergone full-body plastic surgery. You can have sex at the establishment, so instead of a signboard, they've got a vending machine at the storefront selling nanoskin condom spray. The fuck? A type of contraceptive which coats the user's penis in an ultra-thin membrane. Popular because it feels like you're not wearing a condom at all. Many brands contain aphrodisiacs as well. Very interesting. If you look even further down the hall, there's a ring where you can bet on martial arts competitions. The fighters all use performance-enhancing drugs, of course. There are some matches that use virtual environment programs or humanoid operating machines, but those aren't very popular. A humanoid robot, suitable for a wide variety of tasks, especially popular in the resource-starved Tokyo, as they can reuse equipment meant for humans, powered by an SMES embedded in their abdominal region. What's SMES? Steam something? Most of the humanoid operating machines in Tokyo are produced by Amachi Robotic Industries. In the end, I suppose what's important is the flesh. Doesn't matter if it's your flesh or someone else's. It's all about bodily pain, as the upper limits of a trained brain and nervous system are tested in an exchange of physical techniques. Many people don't quite understand this, but training doesn't only train the body, it also trains the brain. Live matches like this will never lose their appeal, so long as martial arts don't become further separated from the physical human body.
見つけた!
Site 7. Comic and game, I assume? Iria rushes over to a store called Site 7. An otaku specialty store located in Amehoko sells vintage otaku merchandise from the early 21st century, ranging from figures to Blu-rays, home to a subcultural subculture artisan. The display window is packed with anime merchandise from a bygone era. It's a frankly garish sight. It's impossible to even tell all these characters apart.
ここが目的地。
ずっと来たかったの。入っていいよね。
Ariel walks into the store without even waiting for me to answer. What the fuck is this song? As soon as we pass through the door, we're greeted by brightly colored anime girls. There's a literal 2D non-holographic anime playing on a monitor. It's being played directly from vintage storage media, the sort that predates even ultra-high density hard drives and advanced multi-layer optical discs, to say nothing of holographic cubes. The image quality is quite poor, as one might expect given the low storage capacity. The CGI used in the anime itself is also unthinkable by modern standards. What was once commercial-grade CGI in 2050 is now the sort of thing that even a child could produce. And yet...
すっごい。データだけじゃない。本物のブルーレイ。こっちは。うわっ！本物の紙の同人誌だ！
Now that holograms have become the standard media for information distribution, and physical preservation has fallen to papyrus, paper books have become vanishingly rare. I still like paper books. I bought all my, like novels paperback. Or, hardcover. Paper itself is still used for banknotes and food packaging, but it has fallen out of favor as an information storage medium. It's safe to consider paper books antiques.
君はレトロマニアなんだね。
違う。アニメオタク。
アニメオタク。
The fuck are you talking about?
20世紀後半から21世紀初頭のアニメは今のエンターテインメントにはない独特の様式美によって支えられてるの。
Man, the weebs are gonna so love you, Iria.
僕もクラシック映画を見る。昔の作品って意外と新しく感じるよね。
わかってるじゃない。歴史は循環してるの。ぐるぐる回って今は200年前、20世紀後半が最先端。
Iria's impassioned rhetoric is interrupted by someone in the back of the store clearing his throat. It's an old man, a subculture artisan, currently busy with some task or another. A term of respect for those who preserve and uphold the forgotten otaku culture of yesteryear. Without them, the arts of plastic model assembly, garage kit painting, and dakimakura maintenance would be lost to time. The subculture artisan at Site 7 isn't the most amiable fellow, but he is very good at what he does. He's considered an intangible cultural property by the Tokyo government. Man, I was actually holding a laugh when I was reading this encyclopedia entry. Nowadays, everything in this store can be reproduced as long as you have access to a printer. There's no need to paint a Bishoujo garage kit or put together a plastic model yourself. And thus, very few people are still capable of such handiwork. People like this man who keep these dying arts alive are called artisans. In a more peaceful society, he might be classified as a living national treasure. He's currently working on a Bishoujo figure. I can see nippers, a design knife, sandpaper, a pin vise, aluminum wire, masking tape, an airbrush. The man slowly but surely puts the finishing touches on the figure, using an array of tools the average person would be completely unfamiliar with.
すごい。これ、ホムホムだよね。
Who the hell is that?
ジョーちゃん、若いのによく勉強してるな。ほら、本物のレジンキャストだ。
パテを使った整形。情報としては知ってたけど、本当に手でやるんだ。
I used to collect figures, but I don't do them anymore. So... I don't understand your enthusiasm, Iria.
この味は機械じゃ出せねえんだ。
ですよね。
Really? I feel like printers these days can reproduce something like this fairly reliably.
うわ なる。
But I keep my thoughts to myself. I feel like I shouldn't rain on Iria's parade when she's this excited about the figure. Iria's spending habits are certainly that of a multi-millionaire. She stuffs her shopping basket full of vintage figures with unbelievably high price tags. When we leave the store, my hands are full with paper bags. After we finish shopping, we head to the Amehoko restaurant area. It's still early in the day, but drunkards can be seen downing cups of sake as they recline in piped chairs beneath the eaves of buildings. We've spent quite some time outside, so we might as well eat lunch soon.
腹ごしらえしようか。
もしかしてこのお店？それはちょっと。
大丈夫。あっちの屋台だから。
そんなに変わんないと思うんだけど。
Hey, food carts are pretty good.
美味しいんだよ。ここに来たらいつも食べてる。
本当に？
騙されたと思って。
I actually bought oysters during my trip in Ameyoko. I think it's Ameyoko. I take Iria over to the food cart, which is run by a Korean man. Carts like these accept cash. Small change is an effective means of purchasing sundries, and since cash can't be traced, it's also used for underground transactions. Since this area is under the jurisdiction of the US Army, Japanese yen and US dollars are primarily used here, but some districts do accept Russian rubles or Chinese yuan. That said, due to the collapse of the world economy, the circulation of paper money has been localized to regional governing bodies. You can't expect to be able to use it everywhere. I pay with the Japanese yen circulated by the Tokyo city government.
はい。
何？これ。
焼き栗。
Oh, I actually never ate roasted chestnuts in Japan. I have eaten them here in Indonesia, and they're tasty.
栗？
Iria seems confused, but curious as she looks at the Lee's roasted chestnuts in my hand. Korean roasted chestnuts sold in Amehoko, baked with honey after peeling. They come in a convenient paper bag, perfect for carrying with you on the go. They're high in calories, though.
ただの栗じゃない。
I take a chestnut out of the paper bag and toss it into my mouth. Lee's roasted chestnuts are peeled chestnuts coated with honey and roasted to a crisp. The sweetness of the chestnuts mixes with the sweetness of the honey. You might think this would make them too sweet, but the deliberate scorching of the chestnuts create a bitterness that balances out the sweetness. It's quite the addicting taste. Iria tries one for herself. I like when the CG actually changes depending on what they're doing. It's a nice little touch. I mean, most visual novels do this, but this game actually has a shit ton of variety for the CG, so it's a lot more noticeable.
こんなに美味しいんだ。この甘さは蜂蜜かな。こういうところで食べるの気が進まなかったけど。で、そう、栗ってこんなに美味しいんだね。
I think she was gonna say demo there, but I accidentally clicked my mouse.
そう？そう？どうしたの？
いや。
I realized that I've been staring at Iria, fascinated by the way she eats the chestnut with such gusto. I've never experienced anything like this before. What is this? I don't know, Soon. Is that Konsu again? Soen and Iria took the Kolakant, but this isn't the sort of job that requires the agency's Strider. Armored Walking Transferred Vehicle Model 88. Adjustable leg modules allow it to adapt to almost any terrain. Military police riders are known as gray chameleons due to their color scheme. which means I'm taking a cold cab. All public transit in Tokyo is operated by the automatic vehicle network. Due to the costs of upkeep and securing parking for personal vehicles, public transit is the most common means of travel in Tokyo. Man, no more bicycles. I feel sad. Tokyo used to have so much bicycles, man. That is, a public taxi that drives automatically along the main roads. They're the most popular form of transportation in Tokyo. They're controlled by the automatic vehicle network, so they don't even have steering wheels. Operated by the Tokyo Metropolitan Bureau of Transportation, a highly sophisticated system utilizing smart roads to realize fully automatic transit throughout the whole of Tokyo. The majority of citizens in Tokyo make use of the automatic public transit made possible by the automatic vehicle network. But they obviously come with a few inconveniences as well. The lack of a physical steering wheel means it's hard to drive them yourself in case of an emergency, and it's impossible to take them outside of the pre-programmed main roads. So you can't go to places like the Hyper Ghetto. I ride the taxi as far as it'll take me, and then start walking through the snow. With each step I take, the surroundings get just a bit darker, just a bit colder. This ain't the most friendly place. I feel gazes through the broken glass windows of abandoned buildings. They keep a careful eye on outsiders like me, waiting to strike if they detect even the slightest hint of weakness. This area has no leaders, no organizations to resolve conflicts. If you live here, you've got nobody to watch your back but yourself. Nobody lives here without a reason. All the shopkeepers here are shady too. And there's no shadier shop in the Hyper Ghetto than Snowbound Nirvana. See, I thought it was supposed to be called Frozen Nirvana. I'm sure Sue's got some circumstances of her own. You're drooling again. Sue's entire body twitches as she leaps up from her chair.
Genki?
Genki.
Okay. それじゃ早速お仕事しましょう。
This sort of exchange has become a bit of a ritual for us. If you don't find some way to snap her out of it, Sue's just gonna keep staring at that monitor, oblivious that a customer is waiting for her.
ねえ、エチカ。さっきの、もう一回言って。
The masochistic pig thing?
仕事が終わったらね。
Man, you're something else.
了解。
Sue brings out a holographic cube. It's a transparent cube, as the name would suggest, about the size of a lump of sugar, but it has a storage capacity of several hundred terabytes.
あの受付のデータだよね。
そう。今から解析する。
Sue puts on an HMD. The second half of Necro analysis consists of actually analyzing the data you collected. Soen took charge of the first half, but Sue's an expert at data analysis. Sue places the holographic cube on top of the drive. It begins spinning like a top, emitting light from each side. She murmurs to herself as she peers through her HMD.
アジア人に多いパターン。それから武闘派のハイファイを多く作ってるやつに多い癖。
Necroanalysis has become more of a systematic process than it used to be. You've got databases full of necromancer-related incidents, including any patterns found in the living dead specimens captured at said incidents. That said, necromancers don't exactly leave definitive evidence of their identity like fingerprints or DNA. You need to be able to identify the idiosyncrasies of whoever created the living dead you're looking at. I think Sue said it was like praising a painting, or something like that. A lot of it comes down to the judgment and intuition of the person conducting the analysis. I guess you could say it's still more of an art than a science. More like pseudoscience.
これは単ユンシャンで間違いないと思うけど、前のサンプルに比べておかしな癖がある。
おかしな癖？
ノイズが少し。別のネクロマンサーの影響かもしれない。
Oh, now this is interesting. It's entirely plausible for there to be multiple culprits in the Vice Governor kidnapping, but multiple necromancers. That's a surprise.
ノイズのパターンから影響元を分析してみた。
そんなことできるの？
もちろん結果一番可能性が高いのは
Either Milgram or Pavlov, right?
ミルグラム。
An infamous necromancer and menace to society. The highest bounty in human history has been placed on his head. Proponent of the antibiotic front and spiritual leader of the suicide wannabes. Leads an elite group of necromancers known as the Laboratory.
ミルグラム。
I parrot his name like an idiot. Milgram is the top necromancer, proponent of the Grave Crusade, and prophet of the suicide wannabes. Milgram argues that death is not a release from suffering, but rather something to be overcome. His followers have aligned themselves with his ideal in the name of the antibiotic front. He leads an organization of elite necromancers known as the Laboratory. From the shadows, they plot to overthrow society. A terrorist group consisting of Milgram and his closest confidants. Details of its members and goals are shrouded in mystery. You know, you can tell this is made by people that somewhat did Steins Gate. Like, a lot of the, you know, references seem to be kind of feel like, you know, like when Okabe was trying to fight the organization. The fact that he rarely shows himself before others gives him a certain mystique, which has earned him the reverence of the suicide wannabes. A phantom terrorist, in every sense of the word.
こりゃ参ったね。
エチカ笑ってる。
えへ、やだな。暴れられてラッキーとか思ってるわけないじゃない。
I say laughing.
ミルグラムはただものじゃない。
ありがとう、スーちゃん。
She's worried about me. That's so precious.
それじゃ、まあそこら辺も含みつつ次行こっか。
次？
ソーンは言ったんだっけ？タン・ユンシャンの事件で記憶喪失の女の子と一緒に住むことになったんだけど。
記憶喪失？
Why is she surprised about that?
あれ、そこは話してなかったんだ。
記憶喪失ってそれは何かされて？
そこはわかんないって。記憶を取り戻すかもって。今ソーンが街の中を連れて歩いて。ダメ。
Huh? Why is Sue of all people raising her voice like that?
ごめん。大きな声出して。
いいんだけどさ、スーちゃん、イリアちゃんとお知り合い？
いや、その別にそうじゃないけど。でもその名前は同業者として気になる。
Ah, I see. Sue is a talented programmer herself. I know she dabbles in creating virtual sphere games. Spherical units housing virtual environment equipment, typically seen in arcades. The units themselves rotate in order to simulate movement, allowing for limitless virtual traversal. Often utilize smart material to provide an even more immersive experience. Anyone who works with virtual environment stuff would know about Midnight Shores and Hogyo area. So it makes sense that she'd react this way. Or at least, that's the interpretation we'll go with for now.
宝行イリアはどんな人？
そうだな。不思議な子だよね。いつも地面から10センチだけ浮いてる感じ。笑顔を見てるとこっちまで釣られて嬉しくなっちゃう。神様の何かの間違いでこの町に降り立った天使みたいな。
I don't know about that. Sue appears lost in thought. I keep going.
でまあその天使は涼子さんの配慮で私たちの事務所に住むことになったんだけど。
住む？
涼子さんが家族だって言ったからそういうこと。でも正直本当にそれで大丈夫かなって気持ちもある。宝行イリアって自称してる。口座預金から見てもただものじゃないのはわかるんだけど、情報が全くネットに出てないじゃない。だから一度ハイウェイで調べてほしいんだ。
わかった。
Moving quite a bit faster than usual, Sue opens the fridge by her feet. Synesthesia? She pulls out a small bottle with a psychedelic rainbow label. Synesthesia, a drug developed by the US Army whose effects are still not completely known. It's somewhat popular underground. A drug used to forcibly expand one's senses, inducing an altered synesthetic state allowing for inhumanly efficient data processing. Greatly taxing on the brain and nervous system, repeated use over a short period of time is extremely dangerous. Used frequently by hackers as a means of accessing the highway, but little research on the drug itself and any lasting effects it may have has been conducted. That bottle is a passport for driving through the highway.
言ってくれるの？
支払いは後でいい。
I wonder what's gotten it into Sue. I rarely ever see her this proactive. Usually, she'd be begging me to tie her up and go to town on her. You know, payment in advance. Not that I'm complaining or anything. I guess she likes that sort of thing. I'm a professional after all. I can flirt with Sue later. Right now, my client's request is more important. That said, I can't take my eyes off of Sue's lips as she sucks in that bottle. Are you gonna do like another H scene or something? Please don't do this to me, Ethica. Sue switches on an array of a dozen monitors. She clasps her hands and starts taking deep breaths to concentrate. What we're witnessing is a special technique that only a small fraction of hackers in Tokyo can pull off.
聞いてきた。
Sue takes off her eye patch. And from underneath shines her rainbow eye, capable of perceiving even light outside of the visible spectrum.
ドライブ。
This would be a lot more cool if you weren't drooling, you know? Her vision becomes engulfed in vivid hues of light. The high-speed visuals flashing on screen are a representation of data. On the Conry mesh network sprawling throughout Tokyo, encrypted information is constantly being exchanged. Individual holographic cubes, each of which acts as a node, are continually accumulating more data, and none of it is indexed. Talk about chaos. It'd take an impossible amount of time to find the data you want from such a sprawling sea if you used any ordinary method. But what makes the impossible possible is the highway. A special method of browsing the mesh network indexes vast amounts of data for expedient processing. Accessing this mode is sometimes referred to as driving. By enhancing the capabilities of one's parietal lobe through the use of synesthesia, it is possible for a human to navigate the raging sea of data that is the highway. But prolonged access is physiologically taxing. Additionally, driving too fast can cause one's personality to disperse and merge with the mesh network, leaving behind only an empty husk. Well, that's kind of scary. It's not an actual place, but a type of lookup command called highway mode, apparently. By pushing the human brain to its maximum capability, you can process information in an instinctive fashion, drastically reducing lookup times. The rainbow highway accelerates even further. Sue's poor eyes and mouth are gaping wide open as she groans in pain. Her entire face is soaked with sweat, tears, and drool. But even so, she stands firm amid a tumultuous current of numbers and letters. She flicks through stacks and heaps of data with both her real fingers and a set of virtual fingers controlled via brain mouse. The highway overclocks the throughput of the human brain past its limits. It's incredibly taxing both physically and mentally, making long or repeated searches close to impossible. I've even heard stories of hackers who went in too deep and never returned. I wish I could take over for her. But I can't take over Sue's job of hacking data off the highway, just like how Sue can't take over my job of hacking limbs off the living dead. All I can do is trust in her skill. Sue's movement abruptly ceases. She stares off into a fixed point in space, unblinking. The multi-monitor array goes black. After exiting the highway, Sue starts tumbling down to the floor, but I catch her.
大丈夫？
Oh, I was waiting for her to say hi, but... Gasping for air, Sue puts on her eye patch before reaching down and opening up the fridge by her feet again. She takes out a can of soda with a dragon on the label that looks totally stoned out of its mind. Which I guess fits because it's called Crazy Dragon. An energy drink developed by the Cyber Battalion of the People's Liberation Army during the Sino-American War, named after the virus that crippled Tokyo in the Tokyo Computer War. Primarily composed of caffeine and royal jelly from genetically enhanced bees. An efficient means of replenishing energy, but almost sickeningly sweet. It is recommended to wait at least 24 hours between doses. It's a nutrient-based energy drink that was apparently based on a supplement developed by the People's Liberation Army during the Tokyo Computer War. Its main ingredients are caffeine and royal jelly produced by genetically enhanced bees, perfect for a quick recovery. It's way too sweet for my liking, though. Sue murmurs to herself. The sound of the computer room right now is really reminding me of Chaos Head. You hear a lot of the computer room when you play Chaos Head, because the main character is a NEET. Synesthesia enhances the five senses to the point of creating confusion between them. I think synesthesia is actually like a real term, right? Where like people can smell colors or stuff like that. It causes all sorts of weird things, like make you feel colors when you eat, or make you feel warm when you hear music.
完全に抜けるまでしばらくかかるんだっけ？
一休みしたから日常生活は大丈夫。
私が必要だったらいつでも飛んでくるからね。
ありがとう。
Me and Sue both work ourselves to the bone to earn our keep. That's why I trust her, and why I'm confident she trusts me.
じゃあわかったことを伝えるね。宝京イリアエチカも知ってると思うけど、その名前のソフトデザイナーの素性はほとんど知られてなくて、ソフトのリリースも 踏み台を何重にも使って匿名性を徹底的に確保してからものすごく注意深く世の中に出てる。
Yeah, even I've heard that much. As a result, there are even rumors that Hogu Iria herself is a fictional being.
それでハイウェイでは何が見つかったの？
見つからなかった。
え？
I doubt my ears for a second.
ハイウェイで宝行イリアに関わる有意な情報を見つけることができなかった。
Not even the fact that she's real or anything?
それってつまり
私にもお手上げ。
This is the end? After going through all that? Man, you've got to be shitting me. No wonder she was so shocked. But I think this is a perfect time for ending the episode. Wow, 1 hour and 30 minutes is actually quite perfect for these episodes after the first episode. I think the first episode was an hour 50 minutes. The second and third one have been like on the dot, an hour 30 minutes. Like I don't know if it's my like reading speed or if it's intentional that these are very like the scenes like what is it? Transition quite quite nicely when I want to end the episode. But yeah, I'm still very curious about what the hell is going on in this game. So far we still know nothing about Iria. I'm curious about her, but I'm also curious about the necromancers. And like I said, I think most weebs would actually really like Iria. She is pretty cute after all. But alright, I think this will be where I stop recording for today. I'm gonna go jump on my bike and do some biking session before I go to bed. But I'll also be editing out this video. Or not editing out really, just rendering out the video for people on Patreon. You guys on YouTube are gonna be getting this episode like once a week, like I said. So, not really too much of an issue. I can just upload everything because there's really nothing to edit on this one. The second one, I have to edit out the H scene with Ryoko and Ethica. But that's about it. But yeah, I'm really digging this side game that I'm doing. But I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these videos early access along with, you know, uncensored H scenes. But other than that, I bid you guys farewell. I'll see you guys in the next episode.